What's going on, YouTube? This is Ryan with South Jersey Yak Fishing, and once again, thanks for tuning into my channel. This footage was shot on Saturday, October 12th, and this will actually be only a portion of this trip, as it was one of the best fall tog trips I have ever had, and probably the most fish I've ever boated in one day. Lots of great action and a few tog jigging tips in this one, so make sure you catch those. And we're going to start off by showing you how I find fish at the bridge. For those of you that want to skip straight to the first fish, feel free to do so. It's about the 3-minute mark. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. All right, let's get started. All right. Let's move right up to this next piling. We'll move over here. Okay, so every trip starts out the same way, and that's with the bait. And today we're going to be using green crabs and some fiddler crabs, and the first task is to actually find the fish. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to be checking pilings. We'll fish it for a little bit. If we don't get a bite, we're going to move on, and we'll keep checking pilings until we find fish. And that's basically the key, is to just keep moving around. You don't want to sit too long at a piling not getting bites, or even if you get small bites, it's probably just small fish that you don't want to hook anyway. You just move on. All right, try another piling. It's not looking promising. I mean, if this is what I'm going to run into, I'm not going to sit around and wait for a bite. I've already had a pretty good day, aside from all the jigs that I lost. Yeah, unfortunately, the first part of the trip that I spent out of the jetty didn't go so bad, other than the fact that I did lose quite a few jigs. Yeah, it was kind of an expensive portion of the trip. I will be posting that later on this winter when things slow down a little bit, but for right now, we're just going to watch this part of the video. And, you know, I'm just searching the different pilings, trying to find a bite. I'm not finding one right now, but that is definitely the key. You have to keep moving around until you find a bite. And then once you find one, even if it's timid, you just keep working that bite until you build it, and then eventually it turns into a ferocious feeding frenzy. So generally speaking, I usually won't spend more than 5 minutes at any given piling unless A, I've caught a fish, or B, I'm losing bait. In this case, this is probably about the 7th piling that I've tried, and this will be the last piling, as this is where I'm going to find the fish. At the bridge. Decent size, I guess. 14. Of course. I'm sure all of you already know this, and probably if you've been togging before have already done it, but I like to cut my green crabs in half as opposed to putting them on whole. I also clip off all the legs and the claws, and I pull the shell off too, and all of these parts go into the water right where I'm fishing, just so I can chum the waters a little bit. It helps to keep the fish around by making them think there's an endless waterfall of food coming right to them. Wow. So, all right, dude. That first bump was not a rock, that was a fish, and I missed it. So I'm gonna assume he's sitting there waiting for another meal. Why would he leave? Watch in this next clip how I am surprised to have a fish on the line after not even feeling a bite. Oh, this is a pretty decent fish. Ooh. What is he? There's a tog. She's a tog. Man, you gotta be on it, because they're like looking at this jig and I can't even feel them. I'm trying to run with the tide. That's a decent sized tog right there. Probably close to 15. I'm not going to bother measuring, because I know when I check it, it's going to be 14 3/4 or 14 1/2. In a lot of cases, tog, especially the big ones, do not hit the bait hard. Instead they, well, I call it silently pick up the jig while they're taking your bait. Yeah, in a few minutes I'm going to talk a little bit about that and how I catch them in the act of stealing. Oh, this is a decent fish, man. He tried to run for structure too. I don't know what he got into. I had to pull him out. Wow, nice tog. Nice tog. Ooh, fat boy, man. Now, let's measure him because he looks like he could keep in size. Which, you know, I don't need right now, but he's not. Dude, he's just a really fat 14. You just can't tell. All right, 14-inch tog. Bye-bye. Hopefully I'm falling right in the strike zone because this is where they seem to be. A little smaller. Foul hooked? Might be foul hooked. No, not foul hooked. Just gave up the fight. Gave it up. Ooh, not fighting. Oyster cracker? Yes, a foul hooked oyster cracker. This is the first time I've ever foul hooked one. Yeah, it's oyster cracker number 2 today. Well, he's just like hanging out underneath my kayak now. That's weird. Something hit it right away. Oh, it came off. That was a decent fish, man, that I just lost. I don't know what happened. Nope. These tog over here, they seem like they're average size, like 14. They're not fighting like a 14-inch tog. They're fighting, I mean, some of them are not fighting at all. It's weird. They not know they're hooked. It's a pretty decent size, man. Heavy. But going back. They stop fighting, dude. They just don't. They're just not fighting. Why not? That's weird, dude. Very weird. In this next clip, just watch my rod tip. I do a periodic, very slight exploratory lift of my rod, and this communicates a lot of information to me, as well as it does a few other things that I'm going to mention a little bit later. So I tried, I don't know, 7 pilings before I ended up here in between these 2 big ones. I don't think I've ever found fish like consistently here the way that I am now in this spot. That's why you try everywhere, man. You just keep moving until you find them. They're not always going to be in the same spot. Hey, did you see those 2 little exploratory lifts? Yeah, that little move catches me a lot of fish. This clip right here is a perfect example. I'm going to do one of these lifts now, and we are going to pause the video right here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the exploratory lift does a number of things for me. For one, I know if I still have bait. I don't want to be fishing an empty jig. It also helps to prevent line bow. It helps to put a little scent in the water too, because every time I shake that bait a little bit, puts little particles into the water that attracts fish. When it lands, it also makes a little noise that draws attention to it as well. But most importantly, and the number one way I catch fish when I don't even feel the bite, is I catch them in the act of stealing. Now, I do several of these exploratory lifts, and from doing it over and over again, I know exactly how much pressure it takes to bring that jig up off the bottom. When I go and lift it and it doesn't seem to move, and I achieve that little rod bend that you see in the picture right here, I think you all know what comes next. I'm setting that hook. 9 times out of 10, it's a fish. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. This is a good one, obviously. Definitely a tog, man. I took a drag right away. Nice size. Oh, wow. Look at the size of this one. Woo! This one's a netter. Holy cow. What a pig. Damn, that is a nice sized tog, dude. He's like 20 inches. That's all right. I'm happy with the one I got. I mean, I don't need to keep one this big, but holy cow, dude. That's a nice fish. That's a really nice fish. All right, so this one, oh my God. Wow, only 18? This fish looks huge. All right, man, that is a nice sized tog. I mean, that is a healthy looking 18-inch tog, really fat. Certainly looked a lot bigger than 18 to me. But yeah, we're gonna let him go. Bye-bye. Wow, man. You know, it kind of makes me upset that I lost 5 jigs at the jetty when I could have been back here at the bridge catching them right here. It's kind of annoying, but I mean, it is what it is. I had planned on being out of here already, but at this point, why would I leave? I'm enjoying this. Now it's just a ridiculous bite at this point. And it's just one after another. It's another fairly decent sized tog, dude. That's like a 16-incher. I mean, my God, if it was a 5-fish limit, I'd have my limit today. Yeah, these probably 16, this one. Let's just take a look real quick. All right, chill out, man. I'm gonna let you go. Oh no. Wow, it's not even a keeper. When they're fat and well fed like this, man, I can't tell the difference. I'm so glad I got this bump board. This bump board's really, really nice. Okay, so I mentioned earlier about cutting the green crab in half. Yeah, I usually put the hook in through the front leg socket and out one of the back ones. And it is my favorite bait for back bait and jetty togging. It puts a nice scent in the water, and it's durable enough to withstand the pecking action of a lot of the smaller fish while we wait for a bigger one to come by and pick it up. Ooh, another good one. Is it that same fish? Please tell me you're not that stupid and foolish. It looks like the same fish, man. Nah, not the same fish. Wow, some big ones over here today. Wow. Yeah, not the same fish. He's 16, 15 3/4. Nice fish. Let him go. Bye-bye. Wow, he just soaked me. So I feel like it's somewhat important to note that all summer long when I was fishing for sheepshead, it seemed like the best bite took place in the middle of the rushing tide. And here we are in the middle of the rushing tide. I'm togging at the bridge, and suddenly the big boys are coming out to play. And I really believe that the bigger fish feed in the middle of the tide, because it's when the smaller fish have the least amount of control over their bodies and where they get dragged to by the current. And the bigger fish have bigger tails, and they can handle that current a lot better. So I think you get smaller ones feeding in the slower tides and larger ones feeding on the faster rushing tides. So just what I think I've been experiencing this year. I saw it with the sheep's head, and now I'm seeing it with the tog. Alright, so here is another good example of me using one of those simple exploratory lifts to catch a fish in the act of stealing. Ooh. He picked it up, I didn't feel him. Nice. I love it when they take a run like that. You know, it's a big tug when they take a run like that. Oh, he's still running. Wow, dude. Woo! That's a big ass tog, man. Oh, he swallowed that jig too. Oh, he took the whole thing. Dude, that's the biggest one yet today. I mean, it's the heaviest, definitely. Holy cow, these tog are huge. They're absolutely huge. He's got the jig deep in his mouth, man. I don't know how I'm gonna get that out of there. Yeah, so I think that first bump I felt that I thought was bottom was actually the fish catching the jig before it hit the bottom. By the time I realized he had it, it was too late and he already swallowed it. The surgery didn't go well, and although he did slowly swim off, I'm not totally convinced that he survived, so that's always disappointing. Okay, so we're going to end the video right here. There is a lot more footage of this trip, but we're going to save that for a rainy day. Hey, I hope you learned something from this video. If so, please leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know. If you like this video, hit that like button, smash that notification bell, and please consider supporting me by subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.